Hey, shalom, saints of the Most High, and crew members and YouTubers. I am traveling, um, seeing family. So I'm in a hotel room and I have free Wi Fi, so I thought I would shoot a video. I was kind of surfing the net on my computer and I noticed on the news, ABC News, that two New Jersey police officers' house was shot at 6 times lately, and they have a 10-month-old. None of them were wounded, praise Yah. But then it spurred in my mind, like the two police officers shot in Los Angeles, and I started looking for other stories, and there have been police officers wounded in the riots and the looting and etc. And I even think Pastor Joe's already done a video on this, but there is a war on police officers right now. 125 police officers were killed in the line of duty last year. Lots of police officers are wounded on the job. I heard a radio show, and I think the host's name was Chris Plant, and he was talking about how police officers, and I'm reporting what he said. You know me. He said the statistics show white police officers are more likely to be killed when trying to arrest an armed black man than if they're trying to arrest an armed white man. Um, what does that have to do with anything? The fact that I think Antifa has called for a war on police officers. And if you go back to 2016, that Black Lives Matter protest that was happening in Dallas, and 5 police officers were killed and many were wounded. The father of one of those police officers sued Black Lives Matter at the time and called them a terrorist organization and said they have declared a war on police officers. That was 4 years ago. And they're still doing it. You have the Black Lives Matter protest, peaceful protest that goes during the day, and then once night falls, rioting and looting, people being assaulted, etc. Oh yeah, Van Dorn. Van Dorn. I think that was St. Louis. He was a retired police officer trying to protect a friend's pawn shop and was shot and killed. And that was put on Facebook. So why does this make no sense? Why is this a bad thing? Well, it should be obvious to you, and it probably is. You crew members are smart people. Our country is founded on laws. Our country is founded, the government designed to keep the peace, for citizens to be able to walk unconcerned and do everyday citizen things like go to work, shop, etc., and not have to worry about being attacked by somebody. And some governments don't guarantee that. As a matter of fact, in a communist government, you're supposed to, not supposed to, but it happens that you're afraid of your government because they may grab you at any time, move you, change your job, make you hungry, make you wait in bread lines. Just, it's bad. So our government is based on laws that keep the public peace. And it's an apparatus, it's a structure that has, the police are the guys on the ground. They're the ones who are daily interacting with the public, daily apprehending lawbreakers. They are the ones who are just right up against enforcing these laws. And then you know how this works. If you're arrested, then you enter a sort of a different system, and you're in the jail, and you can post bail, and you wait to see if someone's charging you with something, and if they decide not to, you're released, and just, all of that. And then if you are charged with something, it's in a whole nother system where you're into the judicial, and a court date is set, and you get a lawyer appointed to you if you can't afford one, and they, there's a whole lot of legal precedents and laws that govern how all that runs, and they can make motions and they can make injunctions, and just, it's a very complex system. But that's the next step. And then the last step is either you go to prison or you are found not guilty and you go free. So we have that whole thing to keep our lives normal, peaceful, running smoothly. But the police are the first line of that, and they are there trying to keep the peace on a daily basis. And if they are under attack and that starts to really affect across the country, that daily interaction and daily keeping the peace is disrupted, now the whole thing's going to fall. It's going to be chaotic. And I think it's possible that if the election doesn't go the way that certain people want it to go, that will get worse. And without people keeping the peace, then criminals can pretty much run free. And guess who gets preyed upon by those criminals? The general public, right? Who's going to protect you if you can't call 911? Who's going to protect your property and your body if you can't call 911 and say, hey, I think I hear someone breaking in? Who's going to show up? Nobody. And it's going to be terrible. So people, you got to think about that. You got to get together with your neighbors, with your local police department, your neighborhood watch, and be ready for chaos if it happens. All right, bless y'all. Shalom.